Florence Scovel Shinn used to say that we don't attract who we want. We attract who we are, at the level we currently believe we deserve. And I know that can sting a little to hear, especially if you've just come out of another relationship or friendship that left you wondering, why does this keep happening to me? So let's actually walk through what she meant, because it's not as harsh as it first sounds, and it's actually one of the most hopeful teachings she ever gave. Here's the pattern most people notice before they understand it. You meet someone new, and at first it feels different, better even. But a few months in, you start noticing the same shape forming again, the same kind of distance, the same kind of one-sided effort, the same kind of person who takes more than they give, just wearing a different face this time. And after this happens 2 or 3 times, it starts to feel less like bad luck and more like a rule you can't escape. Like something about you specifically attracts this. Maybe you've even started to dread it a little. That moment a few months into something new where you feel the familiar shift begin, and some part of you thinks, here we go again, almost before anything has actually gone wrong yet. That quiet dread is worth paying attention to, because it's usually a sign that a pattern has become so familiar, you're half expecting it before it even shows up. And the strange thing about expecting a pattern is that expectation has a way of shaping how you interpret every small sign along the way, sometimes even before the other person has really revealed who they are. Florence's teaching here was very direct, but not in the way people fear. She didn't believe you were broken or that you'd done something to deserve mistreatment. What she taught was that we don't attract people based on what we consciously want. We attract people who match our subconscious sense of what we believe we're worth. If some part of you, usually formed a long time ago, quietly believes that love has to be earned, or that you're only valuable when you're useful, or that wanting too much makes you difficult, that belief doesn't stay quiet. It goes out ahead of you into every room you walk into, and it tends to find exactly the kind of person who confirms it. This is why attracting the wrong people often isn't really about bad luck or a small dating pool. It's that the belief operating underneath your choices hasn't changed yet, even if your conscious wish list has. You can want a partner who's consistent and kind with your whole heart, and still find yourself, somehow, drawn to the one person in the room who isn't. Because some older part of you recognizes that dynamic as familiar, and familiar to the subconscious often feels safer than good. Florence's fix for this wasn't about becoming pickier or building a longer checklist of red flags to screen people against. She believed checklists don't actually change outcomes, because you can screen a person perfectly on paper and still feel pulled toward the one who fails every item on it if the underlying belief hasn't shifted. Her approach went underneath the checklist, to the belief itself. This is worth sitting with, because so much popular advice about dating and relationships focuses entirely on the checklist. Know your red flags, know your non-negotiables, screen harder. And none of that is bad advice exactly, but Florence would point out that it treats the symptom, not the cause. You can know every red flag by heart and still find yourself making excuses for the very things you swore you'd never accept, because the checklist lives in your conscious mind, while the actual pull toward a person lives somewhere underneath it, in the same place where your sense of worth lives. Change the belief, and the pull itself starts to change. Not just your ability to spot the warning signs after the fact. She taught that the real work is raising what she called your sense of worth. Not arrogance, not proving anything to anyone, just a quiet, settled knowing that you are worth consistency, worth real effort, worth being chosen fully. And she believed this had to be built the same way any belief is built, through repeated, deliberate statements said until the subconscious finally accepts them as true, the same way it once accepted the opposite. This is the part I want you to really sit with, because it reframes the whole situation. If you keep attracting the wrong people, it's not proof that you're unlovable or doing something wrong. It's simply proof that an old belief is still running the show, quietly, underneath your conscious choices. And beliefs, unlike circumstances, can actually be changed on purpose. Let's build that new belief together right now. Say these slowly, and let each one actually land, rather than rushing to the next. I am worthy of consistent, real love. I no longer attract people who confirm my old fears. I release the belief that love must be earned. I am worthy of being chosen fully, without having to prove it. My presence is enough. I do not need to perform for love. I attract people who match the way I now see my own worth. I release every relationship that was built on an old belief about myself. I am safe to expect more. The right people are drawn to the person I am becoming. I trust that my sense of worth is already changing, one day at a time. Here's what I want you to remember. Florence's point was never that you caused mistreatment or that you're to blame for someone else's behavior. Her point was that your sense of your own worth acts like a filter, quietly, in the background, long before any checklist or red flag ever comes into play. And the moment that filter shifts, even gradually, the kind of person who's drawn to you starts to shift with it. This isn't instant. It won't rewrite every future encounter overnight. But it does mean the pattern you've been living isn't permanent, and it isn't a verdict on who you are. It's simply a belief that hasn't been updated yet, and beliefs can change. Some days the old pull will still be there, and that's not a sign of failure. It just means the old belief is still fading, the way anything long held fades gradually rather than all at once. What matters is that you keep placing the new belief next to it, patiently, the same way you would with any pattern you're genuinely trying to shift. Over time, the filter changes, and when it does, you'll likely notice it less as a dramatic before and after, and more as a quiet realization one day that the old type of person simply doesn't pull at you the way it used to. If this felt like it named something you've been noticing, tell me in the comments what you're choosing to believe about your own worth starting today. And if you want to fall asleep tonight, with your heart settled in the same sense of worth, I have a sleep meditation linked right here that continues the same work while you rest.